Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We'll just take in a minute or so while the others join in, and then we'll start the procedures for today. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to this exclusive session on any MBA versus the Right MBA. This is a joint session by Rishihood University and Festa Marketing. We've seen over the years that the MBA market or the management section of a career orientation has undergone a lot of changes. Um, these particular changes include something like the COVID coming up and probably changing the way that people have sort of started to manifest the way that they do management. Hospitals have changed. Suddenly, we're seeing a huge flurry of people wanting to get into healthcare management. Managers are being expected to think through in a very, very different sort of a mindset. Managers are being expected to think radically. They're being expected to think laterally. You need to bring in more and more perspectives into your problem solving techniques, and this is what a true MBA, this is what a good MBA would would rather bring to you as well. In today's session of any MBA versus the right MBA, our focus is going to be to try and understand that what makes a good MBA. What is it that you should look into when you look for a good MBA program? Is it the course curriculum? Is it its relevance in the particular market? Or is it just your particular fitment to the program that is being offered? To deliver this particular session today, I have with me Mr. Shankar Muralidharan. Mr. Shankar Muralidharan is an acclaimed leadership coach and educationist. He's been in the education industry for more than 2 decades, guiding students in and out about MBA entrances. He's helped a lot of students get into B schools in India and abroad, including his students who are right now at Stanford and Kellogg and a lot of other spaces. He specializes in consulting with students, specializes in helping them build their profiles, so that your growth when you are writing an application is not just limited to just an application form. It is sort of a full-fledged mentorship process. Shankar, I'd invite you. We have quite a few students who have joined us today, this evening. Before we start off, just a small hygiene message to everyone. You guys have a Q&A box which is on your screens. You can ask all of your questions there. You can put in your questions there, and towards the end of the session, depending on what sort of time we have, I can either bring the questions to Shankar or maybe he can take them up directly as well. Shankar, we have quite a few students here. I think everyone's waiting for you to get some guidance on how they can navigate their MBA path. All yours.
Thank you so much, Anju ma'am. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, Swasti. Good evening, the entire team of Festa Marketing for conducting this webinar. Thank you so much. I myself had a lot of commitments today, Christmas Eve, Sunday evening, yesterday was Christmas. I understand all of you would have had a lot of commitments this weekend. In spite of that, you've taken time. I myself had to cancel some commitments to be part of this session and so on. Deeply grateful to all of you who've joined us. Thank you so much, indeed, immensely to all of you. I'll make sure the next 35 minutes of time is, indeed extremely charging. We get to know a lot of things. Anju ma'am did give my background. I'll just take 10 seconds to define myself once again. My name is Shankar. I have been a faculty with a lot of very good MBA colleges, including SP Jain Institute of Management, which is Bombay's #1 college. I've been to IIT Kharagpur. I've taught with a lot of IIMs here and there, Indian Institutes of Management, as some of you call it. I've been to the ISB Hyderabad campus, not IBS, ISB, Indian School of Business, India's #1 college. I've been to their campus multiple times and so on and so forth. So it's been almost 20 years, guys. I've been going to a lot of institutions, giving lectures, talking to students, etc. I've also been interacting with the corporate world very closely. My LinkedIn, and some of you should join me on LinkedIn immediately after this session gets over. My LinkedIn has more than 9,000 professionals. Networking is all about, the art of the next age, 2.0 age of what we call MBA and so on. So I've also touch with corporates. In fact, I've done a lot of consulting work for Citibank, for Reliance, for Tata's, etc., etc., etc. I keep continuing doing that whenever time permits. And I'm also a career counselor for the last 20 years. In fact, the first student who went to Stanford University and London Business School from India for a full-fledged 100% scholarship MBA 15, 16 years back was counseled by me. So I was responsible in counseling that student, in helping him go abroad and so on. So guys, I've been doing multiple things, career counseling, helping students go abroad, study India. I'm also a CAT GMAT trainer for the last 20 years. I've been helping students appear for CAT and GMAT. Even now, every Sunday, I do sessions on how to crack CMAT, how to crack GMAT, how to crack MAT, how to crack NMAT, how to crack SNAP, and so on. Some of you will attend those sessions as part of my sessions very soon. So guys, that's about me. And yes, I've been a GDPI invigilator in many business schools. I've been part of a lot of business schools. I cannot name those schools for obvious reasons. Right now, for the last 1 month, I happen to be in Sonipat, just beside Ashoka, India's #1 university. They've got a fantastic 1-year program. In fact, people say, if you want to make it to McKinsey, if you want to work with McKinsey, the world's #1 consulting firm, either go to IIM Ahmedabad or get into Ashoka 1-year program. It's a backdoor entry into McKinsey. I'm only 10 minutes away from Ashoka. I'm at a place called Sonipat, where you have Jindal Global University. They've got a very good law school. Rishihood is where I currently work for the last 1 year. You can see the flag beside, Rishihood University. India's first university co-founded by an IITian who's an IIT Delhi pass out, very young, 29 years of age. Motilal Oswal ji was on campus last week, and some of you would know Motilal Oswal. He heads a huge company in finance, the Bombay Stock Exchange, and a lot of other companies work with him very closely. He's in the finance sector in Bombay. So I've been with them for the last 1 month. I'm a leadership coach. I also help students do well, get into schools. And of course, I'm connected with a lot of companies. I'm helping good companies come to Rishihood. I'm helping, we are talking to McKinsey. We're talking to a lot of big organizations. So guys, that's about me. That's my background. At Rishihood, I'm at a very senior position. I'm helping students get placed in the best of companies, very high pay packages and so on. But coming back to the topic, let's not talk about Rishihood, that we can discuss on phone later on. The topic for today, as Swasti and Anju defined very clearly, it says any MBA versus the right MBA. Just to give you a small glimpse, 25 years back, India had 40 business schools. I myself appeared for the CAT exam 4 times 20 years back. I took the CAT 4 times, not once, not twice. So lesson number 1 for today, message number 1 for today, MBA is like marriage. Do it late, don't do it wrong. MBA is like marriage. Do it late, don't do it wrong. It's not criminal to take a break after after graduation. It's absolutely fine. It's not criminal to take a break after graduation. What to do? I can help you get internships. I can help you do online programs. I can help you get jobs, because the problem today is India has more than 4,000 business schools. 25 years back, we had 40 business schools. 15 years back, we had 400 business schools. Today, we have 4,000 business schools. We are the only country in the world where number of business schools increased from 40 to 4,000 in 25 years. So we had 40 business schools 25 years back. We had 400 business schools 16, 15 years back. Today we have 4,000 business schools. In COVID, last 2 years, more than 500 of these business schools have shut down. Be very careful, guys. You got to be, the last thing you want is to join a business school. And let me tell you, most of you appeared for the CAT examination. Some of you will appear for SAT, MAT, etc. The day you start appearing for these examinations, your life is going to become nightmare after that, because every day you're going to get 200 calls on a daily basis saying, my school is very good. Shah Rukh Khan comes and talks in my college. Please come join my college. You will get a motorcycle free of cost, etc., etc. Do not get carried away by this nonsensical sales pitches. A good college will never call you and say, I'm a good college. Common sense here. Will I am Ahmedabad. I have taught with SP Jain, Bombay's #1 school. I have taught with a couple of IIMs here and there. I've taught with Narsi Monji. Will a good school ever call you and say, I'm a good school? No, he will not. A good school will never call you and say, he's a good school. But the irony, the problem is, a bad school will never say that I'm a bad school. No bad school will say I'm a bad school. That's the irony. So be very careful. So how do you choose the right institution? Of these 4,000 colleges, only 400 are good. Of that, only 100 are ones that you can choose. And I would suggest the top 40 for all of you. Now, it is not that you have to get a 99 percentile in CAT to make it. Sorry, last year one of my students opened general category, not SC/ST, a general category kid at 85 percentile CAT made it to IIM Bangalore. Because if you open the website of IIM Bangalore, India's second best college, I've been to IIM Bangalore. Three Idiots movie was shot, the shooting of Three Idiots movie was on the campus of IIM Bangalore, guys, not IIT Delhi. Of course, it speaks about Delhi IIT, but the campus shooting was all IIM Bangalore. That's the Three Idiots movie shooting. So guys, if you understand this, IIM Bangalore, they clearly put up on the website saying 40 to 45% of the selection process weightage does not go on the CAT score. It goes upon your profile. I'll talk about what profile is, don't worry. Okay, but the point here is, guys, the last thing to happen is that you join a business school, within 1 year the business school shuts down. They say, sorry boss, aapka second year MBA aap kahin aur se kar lena. 400 plus business schools have shut down in the last 2 years. These are very bad times. Be very careful, guys. So how do you choose a good school? What is the A, B, C, D factors that define a good business school? Before we get into that, 5 minutes, look at the last 25, 30 years of context. The reason why I'm talking to you today, MBA karega, bada aadmi banega, I know of a civil servant, an IAS officer who used to work with Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav in UP just before Mr. Yogi became the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh 5 years back. Just before that, after 10 years of his government service, a civil servant left that job, got a GMAT, 720 in GMAT. I was somewhere helpful in that. And then he went to this place called as ISB, Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, for a 1 year full-time MBA or PGPM program. The gentleman was 37 years of age when he went there. Indian hockey team, national hockey team captain, went to ISB for a 1 year full-time program. I'm sure he might be also 35 plus years of age. I used to consult for a lot of these schools. I know of a gentleman who was a former chief executive officer, COO, Standard Chartered Bank, 41 years of age, 5 crore rupees annual salary, left that job and did a 1 year program. He applied to ISB, applied to London Business School and so on. So guys, it's never late for doing an MBA. You can always do an MBA whenever you want. Good schools. But the point is, the reason why today you have somebody with 20 years of work experience, you have a civil servant, a bureaucrat, you've got somebody of that repute, the former hockey team captain doing an MBA at 35, 40 years of age. The reason is very simple, that in the last 25, 30 years, the world has changed drastically. More changes have taken place in the last 30 years than what happened in 300 years before that. The reason why you're talking, you and me are talking today on 26th of December in the evening at 6 o'clock on any MBA versus Right MBA is because of a simple aspect called as globalization. 1991, India globalized. That's the emergence, rise of the MBA industry. Before 1991, only jobs available in India were government jobs. Ask your parents, grandparents, they'll tell you pre-1991, out of 100 two-wheelers sold in the market, 95 were scooters, 90 were Bajaj scooters. Yeah, you had two options to buy a Bajaj scooter and to buy a Bajaj scooter. That's it. Between 1947 and 1991, India was a closed economy, licensed Raj. We did not have Citibank and we did not have big ICICI banks and McKinsey and LG and Samsung and Coke. Nothing was there. Typical government organizations, you had to get a government job. That's it. No entrepreneurship. System was bad. 1991, all that changed. LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, not liquid petroleum gas. LPG. We had less than 1 million Indians outside India in 1991. Today, we have more than 5 crore, 50 million Indians outside India. Every second restaurant in London today offers Delhi and South Indian food. In fact, there are more restaurants in London offering Delhi and South Indian food than those offering pizzas and pastas and so on. Yeah, every second restaurant in London offers Delhi and South Indian food. Aishwarya Rai is a jury at Cannes. Lagan goes for Oscar nominations. Slumdog has won so many Oscars. Today, Bollywood is more popular than Hollywood outside India. Yeah. Today, I don't know how many of you know, but 20 years back, when we had the serial, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, the Smriti Irani, the actress of that serial became so famous. She's a minister today with the BJP government. Let me tell you, 2001, 2002, 20 years back, Raat ko 8 baje, 8 o'clock in the night in Afghanistan, in Kabul, the streets used to be deserted. Not because wahan pe chor hai, India mein bhar bhar ke chor hai. After COVID, almost every second person has become a chor. But the point is, 2001, 2002, streets of Afghanistan, 8 o'clock would be deserted. Why? Because everybody is sitting in home. And what are they doing sitting at home? Tolo TV, Dari language, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, the Indian Hindi television serial of Balaji Telefilms, Ekta Kapoor, was translated into Dari language and I was watching it there. That's the power of Bollywood, guys. Argentina, Los Angeles, Guyana, Geneva, more Hindi movies and are seen than English movies. And last 2 years, we all know, OTT has risen, Amazon Prime. For the first time in 15 years, Salman Khan's movie has flopped that, because Amazon Prime, Netflix, OTT has come big time and doing well. Things have changed. That's India today. 2013, 2014, we sent a Mars orbiter. You might say, what big deal? The Americans send, the Chinese send, etc., etc. I mean, Chinese tried, they failed, by the way. We sent it before the Chinese did. But before us, the Americans and Russians and Japanese and all sent. But the point is, we were the only country in the world which succeeded in sending a Mars orbiter to orbit the Mars and stay there or come back. And we succeeded in the first attempt. Everybody else took multiple attempts. And you know what? If the Americans took $100 to send somebody on Mars, we took $10, 10% of what it cost. To give you a proper estimate, 7.5 rupees, 7.5 rupees per kilometer is what the Mars orbiter costed us, to go and come back. I'm sure Ola, Uber rates in your respective city are much more than 7.5 rupees per kilometer. That's what globalization has done. And that's where you need a good MBA to succeed in such a globalized world. Just to give an anecdote, Princess Diana, and some of you would know Princess Diana, the late 1990s, a beautiful, glamorous princess, late 1990s. Her son got married a couple of years back. The grandchild was born some time back, great grandchild of Queen Elizabeth and so on. But Princess Diana, who was the princess, very young age, she died in a tragic car crash. Late 1990s. And I don't have a better example to explain what I'm trying to step. Globalization. Who was she, Princess Diana? She was a British princess. I repeat, a British princess with a Welsh subtitle, not Scottish, not Irish. A British princess with a Welsh subtitle with an Egyptian boyfriend who had just replaced a Pakistani. I repeat, a British princess with a Welsh subtitle with an Egyptian boyfriend who just replaced a Pakistani, driving a German car with Holland Dutch-based engines, and the chauffeur was a Belgian drunk on Scottish whiskey. They were being followed by Italian paparazzi, Italian jasus on Japanese motorcycles, and because they were followed by those Italian spies or jasus, they drove so very fast, went into a Swiss tunnel where the car crashed and fell down in Switzerland. An American doctor and the Brazilian medicines tried to briefly attempt the recovery, and he failed and she died. Not overweight. The message is now being given to me. My name is Shankar. I was born and brought up in a village with no electricity, then went to Calcutta, then went to a place called as Bombay, then was all over the country. Then was also holidaying abroad, and then came back to India. And right now, 26th of December today, from Sonipat near Ashoka and near Jindal, and right now at Rishihood, talking to you on any MBA versus Right MBA. That, my dear friends, is globalization. The world today is not what it used to be 30, 40, 50 or 100, 200 years back. Technology, entrepreneurship, leadership, and employability have been so brilliant. Look at this, guys. Motorola, WorldCom, Enron, Nokia, Kodak, Xerox, Arthur Andersen, many, many companies. 10 years back, 15 years back, 20 years back, 30 years back, 40 years back, 50 years back, these companies were number one in the respective field. Motorola invented the world's first mobile phone. Yeah, Nokia was selling more mobile phones than any other company in the world for 30 years. Kodak invented the world's first camera. Xerox invented the world's first photocopying machine. Even today, you go to a shop, you don't say, "Bhaiya, photocopy dena." What do you say? "Bhaiya, Xerox dena." Hum kitne gadhe hain. The product is called photocopying, but the company is called Xerox. But nobody talks about that. We all say Xerox dena. It is actually called photocopying. But that's how famous the company is. The product is known for the brand. They invented the world's first photocopier. Today, Motorola, Nokia, Kodak, Xerox, all are dead. मर गए हैं, खत्म हो चुके हैं. कुछ ताला मार चुके हैं, कुछ के पास पैसे नहीं ताला खरीदने के. Today, Motorola is not Motorola, it's called Google Motorola, Lenovo Motorola. A Chinese company with no great presence 25 years back has come and taken over. Imagine this, for almost 60 years, Motorola was bigger than every other technology company in the world, including a lot of others like IBM and Microsoft and so on. Today, company is dead. So lesson number 2 for today. Lesson number 1, we all saw MBA is like marriage. Do it late, don't do it wrong. Lesson number 2 for today. In today's hyper uncertain world, only one thing is certain: uncertainty. Only one thing is constant: change. And in the last 20 years of my limited experience, not for a bal safed ho rahe hain, but let me tell you, 20 years of my limited experience, there's nothing called as painless change. I was talking to Jasmine, one of my employees, some time back. Boss, change is always painful. Change is always that black, ugly, crawling caterpillar becoming the wonderful, colorful butterfly. Yeah, it's so beautiful. No, black, ugly, crawling caterpillar becoming a wonderful, colorful butterfly. But you know what happens to caterpillar? First, caterpillar becomes blind. Second, its hands and legs. Caterpillar is full of hands and legs. Each and every one of those hands and legs is taken apart. Third, the body bursts and the wings emerge. Half the caterpillars die in the process. Imagine if someone tells you you'll become blind, your hands and legs will be taken, your body will burst. Come on, yaar. Half of them die. India is the only country in the world where more people die after a snake bite, not because of poison, but because of fear. Imagine what happens to the caterpillar. But those who survive that metamorphosis become wonderful, colorful butterflies. So guys, this is a time to change. 25, 30 years back, things were different. 40 50 years back, things were different. You could say, अरे क्या मिस्टर शंकर आके बकवास कर रहे हैं संडे की शाम को, एनी एमबीए राइट एमबीए, मेरे पापा का बिजनेस है 500 करोड़ का, मेरे को वही संभालना है। भाई साहब, आप ये 20 साल पहले बोल सकते थे, आज नहीं बोल सकते। इनफैक्ट इफ टुडे इफ योर फादर्स बिजनेस इज 500 crores, talk to me. I am a startup consultant, I'm an entrepreneurship consultant, I can help that business from 500 crores become 5,000 crores in 10 years with or without an MBA. There is no guarantee that the 500 crore business will remain 500 crores in the next 5-10 years. So much. I mean, when Motorola and Nokia have shut down, what are we talking about, guys? So things are moving at a very fast pace. A good MBA has to make you understand what this is. That's why I'm saying, if you don't make it to a good B school, it's fine. Talk to me. You know, my LinkedIn has 9,000 people. You know, the former chief, the right-hand man of Mr. Mukesh Ambani, very close to him, Mr. Shankar Jadhav, you know, a lot of big guys, CEOs of companies, heads of companies. Sunil Goyal Saab, former COO, Airtel Group of Industries. Today he heads his, you know, own venture capital fund. He was so close to Sunil Bharti Mittal Saab and so on and so forth. He was the one who was instrumental in bringing Airtel to what it is today. You know, Airtel, all of us have the Airtel phones, right? Do have those great people on my LinkedIn. I talk to them on a weekly, daily basis and so on. Your net worth in today's world is your net worth. Rule number 3 for today. Lesson number 3 for today. Your net worth is your net worth. What is your net worth? Auqad, net worth is your net work. Number of people whom you know, not in your family, of course, that's important, but on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Twitter. आज रात तक अगर मुझे आप सबके रिक्वेस्ट नहीं आते, my name is Shankar Muralidharan. Very soon, when I tell my people, they will put up a slide with my contact details. By tonight, I need to have a WhatsApp from you on, sir, मेरा profile build करो, sir, मेरा MBA कैसे होगा, you know, or you can just connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., etc. We need to network soon. How can I help you otherwise? Tomorrow, if you don't make it to a good business school, you will need my help in helping you with online programs, in helping you learn foreign languages, in helping you clear some other entrance exams. Most importantly, in helping you get internships and jobs. For God's sake, don't do an MBA from a college जहाँ पे 2 साल के बाद जो आपको नौकरी मिलती है, शायद 6 महीने बाद मिल सकती है. Let me tell you guys, 90% of Indian B schools, to be very frank, are, sorry for saying, lesser mortals business schools. Many of them don't deserve to exist. For God's sake, don't join such colleges. You know, 10 लाख रुपए जवानी के 2-3 साल बर्बाद करेंगे, 10 लाख रुपए जाएंगे आपके पानी में, कहीं 15 लाख रुपए जाएंगे, and then you will come back. जो नौकरी आपको 2 साल बाद मिल सकती थी, वो मैं आपको 6 महीने में दिला सकता हूँ. So please be careful. So now coming to the big point, how the hell do I define a good business school? What is a good business school? Everyone says I'm good. A good business school has a few fundamental parameters, guys. First and foremost, all good schools have to be residential. I joined Rishiwood 1 month back. In less than 1 month, we made it compulsory. Rishiwood University today is a 100% residential campus. IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Bombay. You know, I've been to IIT Bombay campus a number of times, met students. You know, I've been to SPJN. I've taught there for almost 5 years. It's Bombay's #1 college. Even if your house happens to be in Bombay, you have to stay inside the campus of SPJN. Because it's Bombay's #1 school, it's a fully residential campus. Be it IIT Kharagpur, be it IIT Bombay, be it IIM Ahmedabad, FMS, XLRI, you know, all good universities in the country, all good schools are 100% residential. You have to stay inside the campus. You can't say, मेरा कैंपस यहाँ पे है, लेकिन मेरे पास तो जगह ही नहीं है, मैं तो टिपिकल लाला जी की दुकान हूँ, इसलिए आपको सामने हॉस्टल मिलेगा, वहां पे. Come on, guys, sorry, not interested. COVID times. You know, people are washing their hands 25 times a day. Don't tell me you will stay in some goddamn paying guest accommodation some 4 or 5 kilometers up. Sorry, guys. You have to stay in a hostel inside the campus. And if your university can't even have enough money, resources to build a hostel for you inside the campus, वो क्या तो McKinsey में आपको job दिलाएंगे और क्या तो करेंगे आपके साथ. That's the, so please, tomorrow when anybody calls you and says, I'm a great B school, please ask him, do you have hostels inside the campus? He'll say, no, सामने रहो, मौसी के देवर के सास के भतीजे के घर में रहो, not interested, guys. PG में रहो, not interested, guys. You need campuses, hostels inside the campus. And there's a logic behind that, not just the safety aspect. The logic is, guys, you know, I used to work in an organization before this and so on. I've had people like Anil Kumble, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Amitabh Bachchan, Amir Khan come and give lectures to my students. Let me tell you, a good B school, point number 2. Point number 1, fully residential campus. Point number 2, which comes from point number 1. Every 15 days, we had Motilal Oswal ji on campus 6 days back. He was at the, Sonipat ki jhandi mein raat ko bonfire kar rahe the bachchon ke saath. He was having food in the mess with the students. Motilal Oswal is among the top industrialists in this country. He's from Bombay. He heads a company called Motilal Oswal, which is a very big finance company. You can read on Google, you'll find out. He was in campus last week. We've had Kiran Bedi who's come on campus. We've had Anuradha Podwal who's come on campus. Yeah, my people have been talking to Rajkumar Rao, the film actor. My people, guys, it's very critical that you have an Amitabh Bachchan, Amir Khan, Narendra Modi, possibly Nandan Nilekani, people like Infosys, Narayan Murthy sir, people like Virat Kohli, people like Virendra Sehwag. Virendra Sehwag did come to one of my previous institutions and gave a lecture. When Anil Kumble came to one of the previous institutions I worked, he came at 7:30 in the night. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I was told when he came at 3 a.m. in the morning. सुबह 3 बजे उनका lecture शुरू हुआ. Because रात को 12 बजे तक तो IPL matches चलते हैं. IPL matches के बाद भाई साहब जाते हैं थोड़ा सा, he gets free and then he comes. 3 o'clock in the morning is when a lecture of Mahendra Singh Dhoni will start. For you to attend that lecture, you have to be inside that campus. Only then can you reach that jam-packed auditorium at 3 o'clock in the morning. So please stay in a fully residential campus. Because every 15 days, a good B school will get these people. Bollywood, sports, industry. The guy who heads Videocon, Mr. Venugopal Doot, the guy who heads ICICI Bank, the guy who heads Citibank in India, Nandan Nilekani, Narayan Murthy, Harsha Bogle, big names, big guys, Kotak Mahindra, Uday Kotak, they have to come and talk to you every few. Yes, faculty will be from Stanford University. We've got Adrishud, we've got some of our faculty with strong international names, Stanford, Harvard, etc., etc. I am talking to a gentleman in the US today. He's in the US today. He's helping me connect with Stanford, Harvard, Babson. The world's #1 entrepreneurship school is Babson, not even Stanford. Those things are required. But how much ever those important are, essentially every fortnight, I listened to Mr. Narayan Murthy 20 years back in a seminar hall, when everything was offline, pen, paper, no mobile phones, no Zoom technology, no Google. 20 years back, I listened to this gentleman. I remember every word of it even today. I'm 40 years old. I did my academics. I did my engineering from a good school. I did my MBA. I did multiple other things in life. Nothing taught me as much as these 2 hours of Narayan Murthy sir. 90 minutes of talk and next 30 minutes of Q&A, question answers. Very critical, guys. You need big people to come every 15-20 days. The websites of schools will talk about that. That's important. Also, guys, a fully residential campus also gets you diversity. For God's sake, don't join a college where, 90% people are from UP and Bihar and Orissa and Jharkhand and West Bengal. Fantastic states. I was born in Calcutta and West Bengal myself. I've gone to Lucknow. I've stayed in Lucknow for 3 years. I've taught with IIM Lucknow myself. But you cannot be having a business school where 90% of the students come from only these 5 states. You need diversity. India is known for its diversity, guys. I'm sure some of you know 2008, Barack Hussein Obama became the first president of the US after, and they all said, the Americans said 250 years of free and fair elections. America finally, let me tell you, 250 years of free and fair elections in the US, all presidents and vice presidents have been male, have been white, have been Christians. All presidents and vice presidents, 250 years of US elections have been male, white, Christian. Barack Hussein Obama does not qualify 2 of them. He's male, you can't change that till he wants to, but he's not white, he's black, and he's not Christian. He's Barack Hussein Obama. The roots are far more African and insistent Islam is than, Christian. Barack Hussein Obama. And they said, wow, fantastic, America is teaching the world diversity. India has done that long back. Maybe we could not market it. 2004, what happened? The UPA came to power because of whatever reason. The UPA came to power. Who drove them to power? Miss Sonia Gandhi. A Roman Catholic drove them to power. She could not become prime minister because of whatever reason. Who became prime minister? Sikh, Sardarji Manmohan Singh became the prime minister. And who made him prime minister? A Muslim president, Abdul Kalam, in a country 81% Hindu. That's diversity, guys. Look around us. We're not a country like America where half the population speaks English, half the population speaks Spanish. We're not a country where half the population follows religion 1, half the population follows religion 2. We've got more than 20 religions known to mankind staying in India. Look around us, caste, creed, color, culture, cuisine, contour, costume, context, and yet we have a common consensus. That's diversity. So please do an MBA. SPJ in Bombay is in Bombay, 40 years old. The first director is known to me personally. I talked to him even today, 77 years of age. First director, first faculty, my personal mentor in life. I've spent a lot of time in that campus, with him. Even today, in spite of being in Bombay, Bombay's population is 2 crore. Delhi's population is 2.5 crores. Delhi NCR put together. In spite of Bombay's population being 2 crore, less than 5% of Bombay students study in SPGN. I'm sure that the same thing with Rishiwood University in Delhi NCR. We're just 2 years old, by the way, but we're already very diverse. We've got kids from all across the country. Same with faculty. Go to FMS in Delhi, go to IFT in Delhi, go to IMT Ghaziabad, where you're, Swasti ma'am is studying, or you go to any of those good institutions, XLRA in Jamshedpur. You go to MDI in Gurgaon, you will find that less than 5% kids studying in these Delhi NCR colleges are from Delhi NCR. Diversity, guys. You have to be staying in a campus wherein your roommate, if you're from Delhi, your roommate should be from Hyderabad. If you're from Bangalore, your roommate should be from Dubai. If you're from Calcutta, your roommate should be from Bombay. That's how you learn. You adapt, you argue, you hug, you fight, you eat with them, you dine with them. That's how you understand how to deal, because democracy and success in life is not about agreeing all the time. It's about agreeing on how not to agree. A good school will never have kids from only 5 states. Unfortunately, 95% of Indian B schools have students only from these 5 states. Please, time to change, guys. हमारे पास गूगल है मगर इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, हमारे पास नॉलेज है मगर विजडम नहीं है. क्या जमाना आ गया है ना. 15-20 साल पहले मनी यूज्ड टू बी द मीडियम टू जनरेट न्यूज. पैसा माध्यम हुआ करता था न्यूज जनरेट करने के लिए. उस न्यूज से दुनिया का भला होता था, ग्लोबल वेलफेयर होता था, लोग अच्छा करते थे, प्रॉफिट्स होते थे, कंपनीज कमाते थे, एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. मनी यूज्ड टू बी द माध्यम टू जनरेट न्यूज. टुडे न्यूज हैज बिकम माध्यम टू जनरेट मनी. ऑल यू हैव इज फेक न्यूज. WhatsApps, Google, newspapers, n number of social media, all of this. Yesterday, my friend sent me an article. The article said, you know what? There's a college in Delhi. Kabhi naam nahi suna. I don't want to take the name. That college is ranked 4th in the country. It is better than I am Ahmedabad and I am Bangalore. What nonsense are we talking? Crazy. बाद में पता चला उसका ranking क्यों आया? Because that particular ranking house, the news house, उनको बहुत सारा पैसा खिलाया गया था, काला पैसा to be frank, and that's how it came. Please be careful, guys. Don't blindly believe what we have. Google, but we don't have information. And the problem is because people like us, who have done so-called good MBA from good colleges, so-called good engineering from good colleges, unfortunately, a lot of my batchmates, a lot of people like us are not in the education sector. My batchmates are in LG, Samsung, GE, Pepsi, Sony, all big companies. There is lack of counseling. I have an initiative called as profile building. I'll talk about that in the next 10 minutes. But guys, first and foremost, get this straight. There are very few good people who are career counselors, understand, learn to appreciate and learn, seek to differentiate the good from the bad. So good B schools, fully residential campus, we spoke about that, number 1. Number 2, all guest lectures from industry, sports, Bollywood coming to you, diversity, international immersions. I'm just 1 month old in Trishur University. We are India's first liberal education social impact university. For me, McKinsey is important. For me, Mahila Griha Udyog is also important. For me, Tata Group is important. For me, tribal life in Sikkim is also important. We're the country's first liberal education social impact university. Yeah, founded by an IIT who's just 29 years of age, IIT Delhi pass out. In less than 1 month, I'm already talking to institutions. I'm already talking to people who will connect me to Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg, etc. because I want my kids to go abroad, international immersion options. I understand, thanks to COVID, your parents may not send you outside India for 2 years of MBA. I understand, no problem. Join a business school. It could be Rishi, it could be Ashoka, could be any good school in the country, which helps you spend at least 2 weeks outside India, if not 2 years, guys. Kam se kam 2 hafte to bahar rahi hai, if not 2 years. And you need to go to a Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg. Oh, I know there are B schools who Singapore घूमने के लिए भेजते हैं. I'm not talking of the shady business school. Sorry. If it is Singapore, I can help you talk to Nanyang, NTU, Singapore's #1 school. I can help you go to NUS Singapore. My previous organization, I used to help students go to London Business School, London School of Economics, Mannheim, Germany, China Europe International Business School, so on and so forth. And most of these are free of cost. You don't pay. You need to only pay for the travel and for the stay. And let me tell you guys, highly subsidized. Bombay, Singapore tickets are more economical than Bombay, Delhi tickets if you book them in advance. That's globalization for you. So please make sure the B school that you join, the website clearly says that a student will be able to go at least for 2 weeks to a Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg, Wharton. And it's not only you going, it is you going, they coming, student exchange, faculty exchange. Much of this comes at no extra cost, only the boarding and lodging and the flight travels, which can be very subsidized if you book them in advance. You need the international diversity to understand what's happening. Today, geography has become history. The world is flat. I told you some time back, most of my friends working LG, Samsung, GE, Pepsi, Sony, Coke, Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Acer, Intel, Dell, Deloitte, Aditya Vikram Birla, Tata's, Reliance, Indian, American, South Korean, Japanese, European companies. In सब में एक चीज common है. क्या common है? They launch their products and services on the same day in US, UK, Germany, Japan, Canada, France, India, Singapore, Australia, sometimes even New Zealand and Somalia. Geography has become history. The world is flat, borderless, globalized, Walmartized, Pizza Hutized, McDonaldized, and if I may say so, boyfriendized and girlfriendized. Sorry, I'm on YouTube, but that's how it is, guys, okay? We are living in a highly diverse world. Only 20% of companies which were in the top 500 companies 30 years back are surviving today. The remaining 80% have gone. They've joined museum of corporate dinosaurs. Yeah. Small is becoming big. Big is becoming bigger. Many big are falling down. Be very careful, guys. This is the age of entrepreneurs. I was in charge, of an organization long back, and somewhere we were connected with this gentleman who built the world's first, smallest and least costly water filter, an Indian, needless to say. Similarly, the world's smallest and least costly diabetes testing machine was made by an Indian, needless to say. Indianness today is famous all over the world. Frugal innovation, Sasta Sundar Tikau. We are famous for that. We are happening all over the world. Don't spoil your career by joining some, sorry to say, Nallaya, Pullaya, Mallaya institutions. Be very careful, guys. This is a time to create an impact, create a change. Do it late, don't do it wrong. It's like marriage, I told you before. So these are the few factors that decide a good business school: fully residential campus, international immersion opportunities. Now, if these things are in place, placements will automatically happen, guys. I can, my personal network, 9,000 people today at Rishiwood, I'll also be involved in placements in a big way. I'm also helping them with a venture capital fund. Today's colleges don't only work on placements. Yes, we can help you get jobs in Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, etc. Some of these companies, but a lot of these companies don't hire employees, they hire entrepreneurs. So I have to make you entrepreneurially oriented. I don't think a lot of you want to work cliched 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job, because that's not how we progress in life. 5,000 companies today, many Indian companies, Aditya Vikram Birla, and many foreign companies, MNCs, big McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, Ernst & Young, PwC, 5,000 companies today, Indian and international, are looking at hiring entrepreneurs, not employees. For that, you need to have an MBA, which is obviously marketing, finance, HR. Let me tell you, these days you also have music management, sports management. Yeah, there's something called as theater, drama at Rishiwood. We make sure that a lot of my marketing students do theater compulsorily, because theater is the art of expression and marketing is the art of branding, reading expression. Mathematics and music have to go hand in hand. That's why we say we are liberal education, social impact. Go to I Am Bangalore website, go to I Am Indore website, go to SP Jain website. First semester SP Jain MBA, they are teaching you design thinking, critical thinking. That's liberal education for you. I Am Bangalore started an MBA in liberal education. I am Kozhikode started an MBA in liberal education. Now, what is liberal education? MBA, very simple. Don't stick to cliched marketing, finance, HR, operations. 20 साल पहले थे, 30 साल पहले थे. आज की तारीख में it's all interdisciplinary. You have to know marketing, but you also have to know dance, drama. You have to know mathematics. You also have to know music. You have to know finance, but you also have to know sports management and music management and God knows what all. A friend of mine failed in mathematics 2 times back to back, guys. 2 times back to back, he failed in maths, and today he is a leading sports manager. He's working with one of the best Indian Premier League IPL organizations. I don't want to name it, let that be in the suspense of KKR hai, Mumbai Indians hai, Delhi Capitals hai. He's working with one of the big IPL teams as a strategy brand manager, and the guy failed in mathematics 2 times, because where mathematics ends, where logic ends, is where media starts. I also know a guy who got a 94 in mathematics and he's a leading media guy, but the reverse also is true, guys. Today is the time. Last 20 years, no other career has come up. I joined Rishiwood 1 month back. We've launched a media course already. My students of management, my MBA kids, my entrepreneurship kids will learn journalism, advertising, film and television, mass communication, music management, sports management, blah, blah, blah. We have a media school already in less than 1 month time. I've got a computer science school in less than 1 month time. So we will be helping you learn subjects like, design thinking, critical thinking, a lot of other things, big data, data science, why not, data analytics. We're a new school, guys, only 2 years old. We can do whatever you want. It's like a startup. So you can make us 5 people come to me and say, I want music to be learned only from a particular singer. I'll do everything possible to get that done. My point is, today's MBA is highly interdisciplinary. Those days are gone, like those cliched marketing, finance, HR. Sorry. Yes, at Rishiwood, you will specialize in marketing or entrepreneurship or HR or operations or whatever. We have a few specializations here and there, but it's not just about the major minor combinations or the electives. It's about how you learn them. That's where the liberal interdisciplinary learning becomes very important. We have a subject called leadership, public policy. Nothing stops my MBA kids from attending public policy classes. Now, that's a very important point. Today, there are only 40 universities or 40 business schools in India. 4,000 business schools exist. 500 shut down last 2 years. Many will shut down the next 2 years, guys. Let me tell you, we're living in the age of startups. Every day, US, UK, Germany, Japan, Canada, France, India, Singapore, Australia, Somalia, every day, 1,000 new companies start, venture capital funding. I mean, people like me help them get funds to start. I can help a lot of you, get funding. I'm helping Rishu get a 50 crore, 100 crore venture capital fund. Every day in the developed and developing countries in the world, US, UK, Germany, etc., 1,000 new companies start. By the end of the day, of these 1,000 companies, 900 don't survive, they die. 3 more years of the remaining, 3 more years of the remaining 100 companies, 80 don't survive, and 3 more years of the remaining 20 companies, 17 are below average, 2 are above average, only 1 is the exception. Success by default is the property of the outlier, not the core. If I'm at the core, if I'm doing what everybody else is doing, I will never succeed in life. Please understand, we are living in a very dynamic world. I've told this 5 times in the last half an hour with you. Conventional is gone. We are all living in a painful change, but change is positive and change is beautiful, although change is painful. There are a lot of new age careers today, sports management, music management, not just cliched finance. So it will be finance plus music, it will be finance plus theater, dance, it will be marketing plus sports management. Universities offer these kind of electives and specializations also. I'm not saying because we offer media or we offer X or we offer Y. It's about that combination that you take. The major, minor, law, for example, my MBA students will be doing a few subjects of few electives of law because we're also a law school, not a major, a minor for sure. Computer science also. So it is all about that combinations that you do. It's all about the approach you have. Guys, invention and innovation are 2 different things that we know. Don't try to be very inventive. I'm happy some of you become scientists and brilliant, great achievers, 600 patents, fine. Management is about innovation. We're all here for doing a good MBA, right? MBA is about innovation, not invention. And what's innovation? Innovation is about doing the same thing differently. It's not about doing different things. In my next session, I'll talk about the advent of Ola, Uber, etc. I'll talk to something about my profile building sessions. But innovation is not about doing new things, about the same thing in a different way. Not about a different thing, same thing in a different way. Kinetic Honda press button kickstart came for the first time in India for the sari who could not, for the women with the sari who could not kickstart the scooter 30 years back. That's innovation. Innovation is all about doing the same thing in a different way. There are only 40 business schools today among 4,000. In these 40 business schools, we have one common feature. There is a 1-year program and a 2-year program inside the same campus. India has 20 plus IIMs, guys. You only have Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Indore, Lucknow, Calicut, the top 6, Kozhikode. The top 6 IIMs are the only good ones because they have a 1-year and a 2-year in the same campus. XLRI, SMS, Rishu, we've got a 1-year program and 2-year program. Ashoka, they've got a 1-year program. ISB, 1-year program. Now, some of you might say, sir, मैं तो 22-23 साल का हूं, मैं तो final year graduate हूं, मुझे क्या करना 1-year program से? वो तो अंकल आंटियों के लिए होता है. हाँ, अंकल आंटियों के लिए होता है. But don't do an MBA from a campus which does not have a 1-year program. कोई तो वजह होगी. There will be some logic. Only 40 schools among 4,000 schools have a 1-year and 2-year program the same campus. कोई तो वजह होगी. The remaining 3,960 schools में कुछ तो बुरा होगा. The बुरा is very simple. A 1-year program is only offered by those who have, to be frank, they have guts. It is not easy, guys. 1-year program किसके लिए होता है? ISB, India's #1 MBA, not IIM Ahmedabad, not IIM Bangalore. ISB, India's #1 college. They don't have a 2-year program. They only have a 1-year program. No 2-year, only 1 year. You can't apply to ISB unless you have 5 years work experience, 4 years work experience. 26-27, you need to be at least 26, 27 years of age. Otherwise, you can't even apply to them. Now, that's a 1-year program. I've got a 1-year program at Rishu. 30 to 32 साल का बंदा बैठा है. Maybe some of them are married. I've not interacted too much with them. I've got a 1-year program where I've got a 32-year-old, sorry to say, but uncle sitting in the class. Now, you should do a 2-year program from a college which also has a 1-year program, because then you'll be in the same campus. नाश्ता पानी तो साथ ही करोगे, शायद hostel room भी share करोगे. कल को महेंद्र सिंह धोनी comes a guest lecture. Tomorrow when MS Dhoni comes a guest lecture in the auditorium, these guys were 30, 32 years of age. They will ask the kind of questions that will make you think. Who will give you the first job? The MBA college. Who will give you the second, third, fourth job? Your networking, not the MBA college. I mean, I joined Rishu today. I was with Times of India some time back. I've worked with 4 fantastic companies in the last 20 years. Some as an employee, some as an entrepreneur. At Rishu, very soon, there might be a possibility we might get into an entrepreneurial position, etc., etc., etc. You think I got all these entrepreneurship and employment positions because of Naukri.com and Monster.com? Bullshit. This happened because of my network. Go to my LinkedIn. By today evening, most of you should be on my LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp. Otherwise, पता नहीं Sunday शाम को क्या हम लोग time pass कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे से. You're better off going and spending time somewhere else before COVID takes over everything. Yeah. Please, guys, networking is the most important. I told you sometime back, your network is your net worth. How will you network in a B school? Because you've got a 1-year program, uncle, aunties, 2-year program, people like you, freshers, sitting in the same campus. It is that network that will help you get your second, third, fourth, fifth job, perhaps even the first job. Because once the B school, let me tell you, 85% of Indian MBAs get placed after their business schools for the first job, but 85% of them lose their first job within 6-7 months, or they leave their first job within 6-7 months. There are B schools which have tied hands with companies, lesser mortal companies, not IBMs. And even if it's IBM call center, good morning IBM, how can I help you? I don't think you guys want to work in call centers, right? Why do you want to spend 2 years and then go there? There are B schools which are tied up with companies, and the placement head is told, boss, you place this guy within 6 months. I'll say targets have not been met. I'll throw you, be it finance, be it marketing, be it whatever. I'll throw you off, and then I will give you some amount of money because you're placing him. That's the kind of consultant and commission world which happens. Money is exchanged blatantly between hands. We have to stop this ruckus from happening, guys. You are responsible. समाज को पुलिस वैसे ही मिलती है जो समाज खुद होता है. समाज को आर्मी नेवी वही मिलते हैं जो हम खुद होते हैं. Stop blaming these guys. Stop blaming the placement head, saying, उसने दलाली किया, बच्चे को भेजा है, 6 महीने बच्चे का जॉब चला गया. Why did you go to that school? You need to decide today. Do you want to join a business school where the placement head, quote unquote, pays a commission and sends you to a company, जो company खुद 6 महीने बंद होने वाली है? COVID has not been a great thing, guys. Thousands of companies have shut down. 500 plus B schools, MBA colleges have shut down in India. Lots of engineering colleges have shut down. It's a very uncertain time. Be careful. That's why I repeatedly say, if you don't make it to a top B school, fine, get in touch with me. I'll be talking about a profile building program in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Pay attention, it's critical. That will help you get jobs and internships even without doing an MBA, because then you can take your time and do a good MBA. But for God's sake, don't join a school, because a vast majority of MBA students get kicked out after the first job within 6 months of joining, or they leave the job. Be careful, guys. So in this uncertain age, now that I've told so many things about so many things happening, how do I choose the right school, and how do I choose the right specialization? I would just say one small thing, before I talk about my concept called profile building and take a few questions here and there. Be different, guys, be different. People come and tell me, sir, mujhe entrepreneur banna hai. Brilliant. Today's age is fantastic. Even if your father's business is 500 crores, don't become an entrepreneur immediately after an MBA. Wait for some time. Patience. Patience. Vaiye patiente in French. Patience. It's okay. There are 5,000 companies today which hire entrepreneurs. I'm talking to a friend of mine who's working with the United Nations in the US. He used to be in Apple before, one of the most intellectual brains of India. On my LinkedIn, he's meeting me on 15th of January in Delhi. He might come to my campus. I'll connect you to such people. They will help you get placed in Facebook, in WhatsApp. Please make no mistake. Steve Jobs, so all of you know Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Steve Jobs, Apple, Hillary Clinton, wife of Bill Clinton, who was running for the presidential race. She lost to Trump, and Michelle Obama, wife of the great Barack Hussein Obama, and many, many more. All of these people have one thing in common. They're all liberal education graduates or MBA graduates from a liberal education background. What does this mean? This means a few simple things. A, build your network, build your connect. B, most critical, what you need to understand and appreciate here is be different. And entrepreneurship is fine, but don't do it immediately after graduation. Work in a company like Facebook, Google, Aditya Vikram Birla, Reliance, where you can work as an entrepreneur for 5 years. Be in constant touch with us. I can help you get venture. I'm building a 50 crore venture capital fund. I'll be helping these guys. Be in touch with us. Build a venture capital fund. Business today is not a closed system. You've got a capital market outside. Get that venture, then start your business, and then take it on from there. Be different. There was a conference 100 years back of sabun tel. Those days we didn't have technology. Google, Amazon didn't exist. 100 years back, there was a conference of sabun tel companies. Every company came and said, "मैं sabun बेचता हूँ, मैं तेल बेचता हूँ." One company, Unilever. Yes. Today in India, it's called Hindustan Unilever, Lifebuoy, Rexona, Hamam. Unilever, the founder said, yes, I'm into sabun tel, but unlike others, that's not my business. Everybody else, Procter & Gamble, Cow Corporation, everybody else came and said, I'm a sabun tel company. This guy said, no, my company is as brilliant, as beautiful as pharmaceutical companies and hospitals. Forum, everybody was shocked in that conference. The host is shocked, the panel is shocked. Come on, yaar, you're a sabun tel company. How dare you call yourself a hospital? He said, yes, that's what it is. Because my soap, Lifebuoy, the oldest soap, and what he spoke then in Spanish, I'm just translating into Hindi. Lifebuoy, passionate belief. What does it say? Tandurusti ki raksha karta hai Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy hai jahan, tandurusti hai wahan. It's a passionate belief that health and hygiene, cleanliness is more important than anything else. if you don't use my soap, you will fall ill and then go to a doctor. Use my soap, wash your hands. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं 2 साल से कोविड के टाइम में? Washing hands. It will help you become more hygienic. You will need doctors and pharmaceutical companies less. That's the kind of belief. Now that is what marketing is. That is what innovation is. That's what entrepreneurship is. Please, you need to be innovative in whatever you do. I will do a session very soon on specializations. Jan first week, second week, I'll do a session very soon on how to select the right specialization, who should do what. A cheetah is a very different animal compared to elephant, compared to rabbit. You might say cheetah इतना fast भागता है, उसके पाँव काट के हाथी पे डाल दो, the elephant will hobble and fall down, it will not run. Every animal is different. And if there's something I've learned in the last 20 years, no stream today is a bad stream. Every stream. My students are into music management, sports management. I've got kids, I've known people who are working with A.R. Rahman, fantastic music managers. I mean, IPL, ICL, Bollywood, Kho League, Kabaddi League, Badminton League, Bangladesh Premier League. Today, sports leagues are happening left, right, center. Sports managers are typically those who understand media, also understand some element of marketing, and they're fantastic entrepreneurs. Yes, finance has jobs, but so we will discuss this very soon in a separate session. I don't want to get into that now because today's focus, but we will talk about all of that soon, guys. I'll do a session very soon on, but specializations. But the point is, whatever you specialize, end of the day, you need to have a focus, a very clear focus. I'll give an example to you what focus is. Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, one of India's best entrepreneurs, he was a municipal school teacher's son, municipal school teacher's son. His father said, teacher का बेटा teacher बनेगा. He said, sorry dad, I don't agree with you. घर से भाग गए, बता के भागे. Unlike some of you, so please बता के जाना जहाँ भी जाते हो. I can help you, but बता के जाना for God's sake. He went to a place called as Gulf, Aden Gulf. He was there for 10 years, doing all odd jobs. Petrol, he was filling petrol in petrol pumps, a clerical job, all grade 4, typical हम लोग बोलते हैं grade 4 jobs. He did those jobs for 10 years, came back to India with some saving. He used to work in Shell, Aden. He came back to India and he was standing on the roads of Bombay like a textile trader, kapda, like many others. He was there, hundreds of people in Bombay. He was standing and selling textiles. After some time of doing that, 1958, I'm talking of 10 years post-independence, those days India was not into home loans or car loans or etc. 1958, closed economy, license right. After some time of selling clothes, he goes to a bank and says, bank manager, give me some loans. I want to start my own company, give me loan. And the bank manager looked at him aghast, as if kidney mang liya ho. Because those days, banks all over the world were into two things, savings and deposits. They were not into home loans and car loans and debit cards. Things were very different globally. They're not globalized, okay? He went on going to the bank, in spite of the manager saying no, he went on going to the bank, and finally the bank manager one fine day said, "Aapko kya karna hai? Aapka focus kya hai?" Dhirubhai Ambani said, "Thank you very much." He opened up his book, said, "Sir, this is my plan." After months of following, he said, "This is my book, this is my plan. Today I'm standing on the roads of Bombay selling textiles like many others. With your money, with my money, I will shift from textile trading, textile manufacturing. I won't keep quiet. Wait, 5 more years, textile manufacturing, textile intermediaries, Vimal Textiles, #1 quality, lowest price. Not stopping there, textile intermediaries, bulk intermediaries. 5 more years, refining, oil exploration, petrochemicals, bulk drugs, infocom, telecommunication, and 5 more years, entertainment services." 1958, the man had the vision for the next 50 years. Create that vision. People like me, mentors like me me and my colleagues are here to help you create that. And if you don't have that kind of vision, a good MBA school should help you get that. But for you to get into a good MBA school, you need to have at least some understanding of this. Tomorrow you'll have to clear interviews. So my suggestion to all of you, without wasting too much time, because I need to take questions also, I'll open the Q&A section very soon. Give me last 1 minute. There is a program which I have launched in Rishiwood called as profile building. Okay. What is profile building? I'll tell you what that means. The Rishiwood application form costs you 1,000 rupees. Okay, 1,000 bucks, the cost of Rishiwood application form. Everybody who's attended this webinar today, I can see hundreds of people here. Everyone who's done this webinar today, and even friends of yours who've not done this, but festive occasion, Christmas, New Year, for the next 1 or 2 days, may not be till New Year, for the next 1 or 2 days, I'm getting this form available at a 70% discount. So you get the application form at 300 rupees. I don't want to sound like a sabzi wala, but that's what it is. No, 300 rupees, 300 rupees, 300 rupees, 300 rupees, 300 rupees. Now that's the cost of the issued application form. 300 bucks, 70% discount. My office will send you the discount coupons very soon. You'll get them on WhatsApp. Now, what do you get by filling up the application form? You get a profile building process free of cost. I've been doing this for the last 20 years, guys. What is profile building? Minimum 20 webinars like this will happen. Today is our first webinar, free of cost. I'm sure many of you will fill the application. You get at least 20 webinars like this commencing January first week. And these webinars will be on, number one, how to crack group discussions, personal interviews for top business schools. I've been a GDP analyst myself. Those interviews will also help you crack the issued interview. In fact, if you're IIM Ahmedabad or IMT Ghaziabad or even a mediocre B school interview is on the 16th of January, I will make sure the issued interview happens on the 14th of January, because mine is a rolling admission system. My interview will happen 2 days before the actual interview, because you can fail here, you can't fail in IIM interview. So you will have at least 20 webinars on, number one, how to crack B school interviews and group discussions and presentations, online and offline. Number two, you'll have some webinars on specializations. You need to know. You can't go to B school and say, there are two very important questions. Why MBA and MBA in what? And you can't say, I have no idea. I've just come because MBA karega, bada aadmi banega. Bullshit. They will also say, they'll say, boss, MBA ka matlab hota hai master in bullshitting all. Please go back. Yeah. Please don't make an MBA sound like master in bullshitting all. So one needs to have some focus with respect to domain, sector, industry, where you want to work, specializations. So I'll be doing some webinars on what is right. There is a lot of confusion. India is among the most confused places in the world. India and Asia. I've traveled extensively in Asia, Singapore, Dubai, Middle East. Asian students, Asian parents, Asian teachers, Asian industrialists, Asian NGO heads, politicians. So confusing. The best people are not here. They're all working in LG, Samsung. Some lesser models like me are here, but they're very few in number. You'll hardly find my videos here and there. Maybe now you will. We need to spread this message. Confusion is bad. Confusion kills you. Finance has a great career. So is media. So is music management. So it's law. I'm not saying because we offer many of those electives, but because each of them has a career. You need to be clear about some fantastic careers which are good for you. If you like mathematics, fantastic. If you hate mathematics, brilliant. So we'll do some sessions on specializations and which, there are some business schools which offer only some specialization, some offer many. So we'll talk about those. So we'll talk about sessions on GDPI. We'll do webinars on specializations. I have an expert team of 5 people. All of them would be equal to me, if not above. And we are a 5-member team. We've been together for the last 15-20 years. We will also be doing some sessions on how to crack CMAT, how to crack MAT, how to crack, your other exams like NMAT, GMAT, and so on. 2 or 3 sessions on how, and we've been doing this for the last 20 years, guys. We don't charge for all this, okay? Profile building, you get all of this. Most important, there's a personalized counseling happening with every student on Zoom and on phone. The first step of profile building, after my webinar gets over, my colleague will now put up my contact details in the next 20 seconds. Once my webinar gets over, that contact details, please right now take down my number. My office anyways will reach out to you. That's my contact number, guys. My office anyways will reach out to you. Yeah, Shankar Muralidharan is my name. A very good media industrialist called me once an acclaimed leadership coach and education. That's what he called me. I don't call this myself. My contact number is this. The slide will be on for the next 2-3 minutes. Take this down. It's put up on the chat box also. I will make sure my office gets back to you. We will send you a WhatsApp. So, in case I have a delay in sending the WhatsApp, you please send me a WhatsApp. Geography has become history. I would suggest all of you, especially kids in final year. Others can send after 2 days, no problem. Okay, we have enough time. Students in first and second year, we have enough time. But final year students, जो अगले साल MBA करने जा रहे हैं या नौकरी करने जा रहे हैं, people in final year और जिनका graduation हो चुका है, COVID काल में 2019-20, send me a WhatsApp right now in the next half an hour. And the WhatsApp will talk about 2 things: your name and your hobbies, interests, and your career confusion. What is your name, hobbies, interests, and what? Don't tell me sorry, no confusion. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. I'm yet to find, even I'm confused here. So please, let's be frank. That WhatsApp will be read only by me. Send me. That's the first step of profile building. Because let me tell you guys, profile building also includes drafting a strong SOP. The Rishued application has a 1,000-word SOP. And forget Rishued, every good institution in the world, IIMs, IITs, FMS, XLRI, all of them, you have to write 1,000 words about yourself. I, in profile building, will help you write 1,000 words about yourself. Anju ma'am, can you please put the profile building slide for some time? So I'll put the profile building slide. That's what we do in profile building, guys. Okay, don't look at the girl, look at the points below. Okay, how to avail generous scholarships in universities. At Rishued, we are very clear. 90% of my students will study on scholarship, 40% on full scholarship. I, as head of admissions, have that pledge, that oath, that promise. I will help you avail those scholarships. I helped students last year go to the best schools in the US. I keep doing that. One of the students in my previous organization, I made him apply to that organization. He got a good scholarship. We used that scholarship to go abroad with the full scholarship. So we are here to build your profile. What is profile building? How to avail generous scholarships, how to write a strong SOP. You will need that throughout. How to crack aptitude tests, study India, study abroad. I'm sure some of you are confused. Personalized group counseling sessions, and you be a part of the esteemed issued selection process. Apart from this, we also talk about group discussions, presentations, etc., etc. Anju ma'am, can you put the slide back again? My contact details slide. It will come again. So that's profile building, guys, and that's my contact details. Get in touch. More than happy to help all of you with this. You get all of this in just $300. A discount coupon code will reach you in the next half an hour, 40 minutes. If not, you can send me a WhatsApp. I'll reply on that. Make sure you fill up the application with the discount code, because the code will not last for long. You get all of this in $300, and you also get a process of being interviewed by some best industry guys as part of the issued application process. You can remove the slide, Anju ma'am, so that I can come on full screen for the students and so on and so forth. So that's my contact details, guys. What I will now do is this. I'm happy for having questions. NMIMS Mumbai doesn't have a hostel. I don't want to comment about NMIMS Mumbai. I've stayed in Mumbai for 25 years. I've been to the campus of NMIMS. You can talk to me about individual schools separately on my WhatsApp. Don't put up on this. There's a Q&A box here. All of you want to put up questions are most welcome to put up some questions. I'm more than happy to take those questions here. Meanwhile, in case some of you have missed, Anju, I'm just put that slide again, na, contact details ka. In case some of them have missed, I'll put the contact details slide again. You can take them down. My phones have already begun to ring. I want more and more students to text, WhatsApp me. Yeah. So guys, that's my contact details. It will be there till the session ends and so on. I'm happy to have more questions. I'm more keen in interacting with the final year students and those who have already finished graduation. That doesn't mean I don't like the second year, first year, but we have time. Second year, first year kids can reach out to me even after 2-3 days, doesn't matter. But those in final year and those who finished graduation, boss, honestly, you have no choice. In fact, you have two choices: to write to me and to write to me, because I can help you get into an institution of repute and take it on from there. Waiting for your questions, guys. There's a Q&A box. Please put up. I have only one question here. Waiting for more questions in case you have any. There's a chat box. My contact numbers are put up on the chat box. You can take it on. It's also there on the screen here. Any questions anybody has, please go on, guys. Don't tell me no. Yeah.
Shankar, there was one question which where a student wanted to know, how do you measure the ROI for a B school?
Wonderful, but where is the question put? I can't see on the Q&A box.
I think it's there's some lag in the technical things that's
No
not
worries.
coming up on all screens.
So
I'm
what you
opening
can,
up the chat box anyway for students to put in their questions.
no worries, you can do this. You can send me a WhatsApp on all the questions. I'll be happy. Yeah, so I can see some questions here. I want more information on blockchain AI. Let me tell you guys, you can put up your questions on the chat box. Okay, put up on the chat box. I want more information on blockchain. Okay, let me tell you, technology is the only non-transferable trade. Management is transferable. Technology is not transferable. Okay, so it's a brilliant, artificial intelligence, big data, data science. We've got a computer science minor, fantastical futures in that, but you need to be clear, what are you good at? Did you have maths in 11th, 12th? You come from an engineering background. Can you do a major minor combination with computer science or big data or data science? Then technology becomes great. I mean, if you're somebody who comes from a commerce, make no mistake, LG, Samsung, GE, Pepsi, Sony, Coke, Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, big organizations, last few years, they have been hiring more, they've been hiring more lawyers, psychiatrists, and MBAs compared to engineers and computer science graduates. So suddenly psychology gets you a job, suddenly law gets you a job, and so on. So all streams are good. You don't have to focus only on A. But 20 years back, I agree, anything which was not engineering or medicine in India was criminal offense, not anymore. Every stream. So before you say, I want to get into big data or data science, my numbers are here. Write a WhatsApp about yourself, name, hobbies, interest, confusions. Write to me and we'll be happy to get it on from there. I've got a few more questions here. Which MBA is worth? MBA India abroad? Well, if your age is more than 25, 26 years of age, you can definitely think of an MBA abroad. My students have been to Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg, Wharton, etc., etc., etc. But for that, you need to be 26 plus years of age. India has 40 good business schools and 3960 horrible business schools. Similarly, internationally, for every 4 or 5 good business schools, you've got some horrible business schools. So be careful. As freshers, I would not advise you to go to schools outside India. Do it from a good school in India if you're a fresher. International placements are on. You can obviously get placed. I'm talking to companies outside India and India, like today for Rishiod. I mean, you can look at my website for more details. International placements are on. But if you think you're 27, 28 years of age and you want to do internationally, MBA is more of 1 year. In India, it's both 1 year and 2 years. But again, it depends from person to person. You can send me a WhatsApp. I'll be happy to help you in that. I am Visakhapatnam. Once again, guys, 1 year, 2 year MBA have to be in the same campus. Also, let me tell you, ecosystems matter. Delhi NCR, Bombay, Pune, Bangalore are fantastic ecosystems. I'm not so even some better average schools in good ecosystems do much more than fantastic schools in horrible ecosystems. So balance with that. I don't want to comment on I am Visakhapatnam, but I think ecosystems matter. 2-3 years work experience, guys. If after graduation you guys can get a job of 6 to 7 to 8 lakh package with my support or without my support, close your eyes and take it up. Even if IIM Ahmedabad is happening, if you're getting an 8 lakh package, close your eyes and take it up, because the best placements, even after, be it Rishihood, be it IIM Ahmedabad, be it IIM Bangalore, Ashoka, any good college, the best packages will happen only after you have 2-3 years of work ex after graduation. But the problem is a lot of you don't get jobs because India's having for the first time touching a double-digit unemployment rate, COVID, demonetization, GST, our economy has gone to toss. So if you say, sir, I am only getting a 3 lakh job, good morning, I say, how can I help you? Or TCS? Well, in that case, an MBA needs to be done. So it all depends on, it's all relative. It's all relative. Like Einstein once said, it's all relative. If you're getting a 7-8 lakh package, take it up. If you don't get one, I can help you get one. But if you don't have a package of 7-8 lakh with or without my support, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, please do an MBA, but do it from a good school. That's what you should do. I have a question which says, which good schools you can do an MBA without CAT? A lot of schools don't take CAT. I spoke about IIM Bangalore sometime back. 80% focus on IIM Bangalore, 60% focus, does not go on CAT. It goes upon profile. We spoke about profile building sometime back, how to write an SOP. I'll be doing 20 sessions with all of you, a part of my profile building process. So a lot of business schools look at profile. You don't need to have a great CAT ZAT score. Some of them don't even need CAT. You can take something like an MAT or a CMAT or an NMAT or whatever. We've applied to NMAT ourselves at Rishu to take, but your profile needs to be strong. Experience is good, but if you don't have experience, it's not bad. Relax. Okay, WorkX is good, but not having WorkX is not bad. Good academics is good, bad academics is not bad. Relax. Build your profile. What is the profile? Online programs. I can help you do online programs free of cost. Get in touch. I'll help you. Internships. I can help you get internships. Dime a dozen. Foreign languages. We will, do a separate session on the importance of foreign languages soon, and so on and so forth. Which good college? Yeah, we have blockchain. I've spoken about that. We need to do maths to pursue MBA. Not at all. I have known more people who did not have maths in 11, 12 who've cracked the CAT, the most difficult exam in the world, than those who had maths in 11, 12. Okay. Please, I've been a CAT trainer for the last 20 years. So, but if you've not taken maths in 11, 12, forget about MBA in finance or MBA in IT. No problem. People say HR is horrible. Nonsense. People say HR is for girls. Nonsense. The highest paid jobs today are in HR. There are more people in HR who are traveling than marketing guys who are traveling. We'll do a separate session on specializations very soon, but everything is changed, guys. You can't make journalistic statements. HR training and development today has fantastic jobs, much more than what other streams have 20 years back. So all streams are good. Whatever you like for yourself can be a good stream. We will talk about that. Good college through, but I'm a fresher, BCom, IP Mat, IIM exam. This is, the 5-year integrated program is after class 12. So for a BCom guy, the exam you spoke is typically after class 12. It doesn't apply for you. Having said so, as I said, you're a fresher. Study abroad is not very accepted. Plus COVID days, your parents might not send you. Do an MBA from India. At Rishihood or any good schools, we can help you go abroad. Spend 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months with good international schools. You can settle down there or take it on from there. That's what you should do. What MBA should science students do? Well, I know of science kids who've done music management and now working in AR Rahman. Guys, again, let me say nothing. The problem is after class 12, nobody gave us a choice. At Rishihood, we have a liberal education program after class 12. But that apart, first year of MBA is common. Any good school, be it Rishihood, be it IIMs, any good school, year 1 of MBA is common. Learn multiple subjects. Here we have media, computer science, law, etc. also as electives. You specialize only in the second year. That's how we take it on from there. Then there's a question which says, okay, MBA design, yeah, product design. Okay, let me tell you guys, one of Anjuman, you can remove the slide and so that my face comes there. Guys, product design, process design, fashion design, critical thinking, design thinking are fantastic things which have come up these days. All good schools, I'm talking of good schools, Rishihood, SPJ, IIMs, we teach them in the first semester. You will get to know many such things. In fact, if you want to know what is a good school or a bad school, look at their websites, they'll tell you that. Now, these are required to integrate marketing, finance, HR with liberal education subjects like law, media, psychology, sociology, and so on and so forth. Mental health is a career today. Sociology is a career today. You can't do an MBA in sociology, but you can do an MBA in HR with elective as sociology or public policy or leadership. Open the Rishihood website, you'll find a 1-year program for public policy and leadership. It's only for people with work experience. The freshers can't do that. So there are a lot of flavors that you get added to that. We can discuss this and many more. I think I've taken a lot of questions here. What I can now do is this. A few questions have still not been answered. I think the same questions are being repeated here and there. So what I will do is this. You guys can write to me on WhatsApp. My numbers were put up some time back. My numbers can also be put up in the chat box once again. I would suggest you guys don't put up any more questions because I'm putting up numbers on the chat box. Just copy it. Once again, guys, thank you so much. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. We will be having at least 20 webinars like this. Me and my faculty are more than keen to help you. Society needs transformation. Society needs change. Stop sitting in your drawing rooms at your respective homes and blaming politicians and blaming industry, guys. You have to take the first step towards that. Profile building is a process which can help you do that. There'll be 20 odd webinars. I repeat, we will help you crack entrance exams like MAT, CMAT, etc. There'll be sessions on that, math, English. We'll help you with cracking group discussions, presentations, specializations, what to do, what not to do, because a lot of B-school interviews are all about that. Most importantly, statement of purpose, how to practice hobbies, how to get a internship, online programs, foreign languages, all of that. You get the entire profile building process. I'm launching it for the first time. I've been doing it free of cost for the last 20 years. First time at Rishud, I'm launching it as a product. You get the entire thing at $300 because application form costs 1,000 rupees, 70% discount to all of those who attended this session and to your friends also. I'll give the discount coupon. Please pass it on. My next session very soon happens the Jan 1st to 2nd week. Hopefully that will be a session on specializations and interviews and GD preparation. Hopeful to see all of you in that and taking it forward. Till then, guys, have a great time. All the very best. Connect with me on WhatsApp. My office will reach out to you anyways. Finally, your kids connect with me fast and then we'll take it on from there. Anju ma'am, all yours, over to you. My WhatsApp says already ringing, my phones are ringing. I'll be happy taking these calls. All yours, meanwhile, WhatsApp. Guys, happy profiling. Do well. Don't get carried away. Joker business schools will call you every day. Ask them a simple question. Do you have a 1-year full-time program? They will say no. Put down the phone, guys. There's a reason why only 40 business schools have a 1-year full-time program. Because if I am to place somebody who's 32 years old, a Joker business school can't do that. That's what separates a Rishihood, Ashoka, and IIM from any of those lesser mortal schools. Do an MBA, 2-year MBA from a school which also has a 1-year program, because that's networking and that's so on and so forth. I will be visiting almost all cities of India very soon. I know COVID, Omicron, don't worry, wear a mask, take some sanitizer and come. I will come to Delhi, Radisson. I will be visiting Calcutta, Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior, Indore, Bhopal, Bombay. I am from Bombay, basically, Bangalore, Dubai. I'll be visiting all cities in India and Asia. My office will reach out to you. Make sure you come and meet me for a cup of tea in a small group of 3, 4, 5 students for counseling. Let us take it on from there. Let the beginning never end. The end will never begin. Guys, social impact. You guys need to do more than what I can. All the very best. Brilliant talking all of you on Zoom. Hope to see you soon. Let's take it on from there. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Shankar. I think we've sorted a lot of queries today. And for the other students whose questions could not be answered, please make sure that you are reaching out to Shankar directly, and we will be happy to take your questions as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.